The Bryce Underwood era is officially underway as Michigan took care of business at home in week 1 against New Mexico in a 34-17 victory. It was a really strong first half for Michigan, scoring 24 points, but only scoring 10 in the second half. But it was a game in which we rotated a lot of players in on offense and on defense. There were multiple series throughout where we had second and third string guys on the field. The score is not indicative of how the game went. I think Michigan thoroughly dominated this game. There was a lot of things that I liked, and there's some things that they definitely will need to clean up, but I want to break this game down. And then here at the end of the video, we'll talk about Oklahoma as we head to Norman next week on the road in a college game day environment. It's going to be a battle. Bryce Underwood, the true freshman, freshly turned 18 years old, and he looked really good. He looked poised. He has excellent zip on his passes. He has the awareness that you would expect out of a third or fourth year starter. He went 21 of 31 passing, 251 yards and a touchdown. Probably could have had nearly 300 yards. There was a couple of drops on offense, but I think Underwood looked really good. One thing that I would say is he does throw with a lot of zip, and there's no problem with that. If you got to fit a pass into a tight window, Bryce Underwood has got the arm strength to do it. One thing I would like to see him do a little bit more moving forward is learn to throw with a little bit of touch. Other than that, I think Bryce Underwood looked really good in his debut. He's only a true freshman, folks. We're going to have this kid for 3 years, and I only expect him to get better week by week. On the ground, Justice Haynes was the lead back with 16 carries, 159 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Jordan Marshall also got some playing time, 11 carries, but only 29 yards with a long of 5. You know, I do like Jordan Marshall. There's a place for him on this offense, but I think Justice Haynes is the clear number 1 back. Jordan Marshall's more of that, grind out, tough yardage, falling forward type of guy, hard to bring down, but Justice Haynes has that home run ability, all while having vision and some power as well. He looked really good, and I think what allowed the Michigan running game to look so well was the offensive line honestly held up really well in this game, and it was the right side of the offensive line that looked really solid. The 2 long runs that Justice Haynes had was on that right side of the offensive line. I expected the left side to probably be the stronger side, but the right side looked really good, and I think that if you continue to gel this offensive line, we're talking about a group that can get as good as that 2021 to 2023 group potentially. As far as rushing goes as well for Bryce Underwood, we really didn't see a whole lot of it. I don't think we needed to see it. This is a game against New Mexico. You're not going to show your hand. I think there's some packages in which Bryce Underwood could certainly run the football, and I know he has the ability to just tuck the ball away if his first and second reads aren't open, but I like that he went through his progressions in this game and didn't really show that running ability. Receiving for Michigan looked really good, and it was led by Marlon Klein. 6 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. I think that he's going to fill in very nicely. I'm excited to see what he can do. Colston Loveland was excellent for us for the last couple of seasons, but I think Marlon Klein is the next man up, and he looked talented as can be. Channing Goodwin also looked really solid in that game. Samaj Morgan, 4 catches. Donovan McCulley with 4 catches. You also had Kendrick Bell come in on that second half possession with Michigan, their first possession of the second half, and Kendrick Bell had a 30-yard reception. Channing Goodwin had the 3rd and 14 reception. But I'm definitely excited about this receiving corps. It's got some talent out there, and there was a couple of drops, but overall I really like the way that Channing Goodwin looked, and Donovan McCulley. Samaj Morgan I think has a clear-cut role on this offense, and then Marlon Klein is going to be the go-to guy for Bryce Underwood. There was 1 turnover that Michigan committed in this game, but we did fumble it twice, and they were both in the return game. Samaj Morgan muffed a punt. Fortunately, we were able to cover that one up. But Andrew Marsh, the true freshman, looked lost out there at times when he was put in at receiver, and he also fumbled a kick return that New Mexico turned into points before the end of the first half. He's a true freshman. He's going to get it figured out, but Andrew Marsh got to clean some things up on that front. Defensively, there were a lot of guys that played in this game. Ernest Hausman looked really good. Cole Sullivan looked really good when he had to come in relief for Jayshawn Barham, who unfortunately got kicked out of the game for a targeting call and will miss the first half of the game against Oklahoma. It was a bullcrap call if you ask me, but it is what it is, and I think that Cole Sullivan filled in really nicely for him in that position. Jimmy Rolder also filled in pretty nicely, and I think that you're going to see Troy Bowles get some playing time. Had a sack to close out the game as well. Cole Sullivan had a sack in this game, and then Dom Nichols also had a sack. It was 3 total for the team, and then 3 interceptions. Cole Sullivan had one of those interceptions. Brandon Hillman, and then how about the big fella TJ Guy with his one-handed interception? I think the defense played really well. You see the 17 points, but I see a trick play that New Mexico ran. I see a fumbled kick return that led to points. Overall, I'm not really sweating it. You look at the total yardage. New Mexico didn't blow, Michigan's defense away or anything like that. Only a little over 200 yards of offense for them. I think the defense looked good. They rotated a lot of guys in, and I am impressed with what I saw. Obviously, there are some things to clean up on the defensive side, and you're just going to get that when it comes to week 1 football. As a team, Michigan had 452 yards of offense, 251 passing, which is more than they had in any game last season, and 201 yards on the ground, only allowing 50 to New Mexico. They did have 217 passing yards, but that's on 48 attempts. They turned the ball over 3 times to Michigan's 1, but the most concerning thing heading into this game against Oklahoma was the discipline as far as the penalties go for Michigan. 8 penalties for a total of 65 yards. You're going to go on the road into a hostile environment. You cannot be committing penalties in that game. You need to play sound football or you will get hurt, because penalties are a huge piece to the game. Turnovers, penalties, I think that those are 2 of the biggest things when it comes to a football game. If you don't turn the ball over and you don't commit unnecessary penalties, I think you're going to have a really good chance to win. Unfortunately, Michigan did commit quite a few penalties in that game against New Mexico, and I think that's the one thing that if I had to say Michigan needs to clean up is that. The penalties need to be cleaned up. Other than that, the offense looked really good. They will improve week by week. The defense looked solid overall. There's some things to clean up, but they did look really good. Before we wrap this video up, I do want to talk about our opponent next week, the Oklahoma Sooners. They won their first game against Illinois State 35-3. And John Mateer looked every bit the part. 30 for 37 passing, 392 yards. He did throw an interception in this game, and overall, Oklahoma's run game looked pretty weak. 32 carries, only 103 yards against an FCS opponent that outran them. So what that tells me, I think Michigan's going to have a really good chance to run the ball on Oklahoma. And I think that Michigan's going to have a really good chance to stop the run of Oklahoma. One thing that was kind of intriguing to me was the fact that Jade Knott only got 1 carry to transfer from Cal, and it was for a loss of 3. I think that Brent Venables does believe that Jade Knott's going to get healthy and be a huge piece to the offense. But overall, if he's not healthy for this game against Michigan, and he's not 100% good to go, that is going to potentially hurt them. They're going to have the home field advantage, and I think that's something that Michigan's going to have to overcome. But if you can stop the passing attack of John Mateer, don't allow him to be their running game, you're going to have a good chance of beating the Oklahoma Sooners. They are favored as I record this video right now. I think that Michigan is going to have a chance to go on the road and win this game. How can the freshman quarterback remain level-headed in this game? How does Sharon Moore and Chip Lindsey treat him in this one? What do they allow him to do? How do they foresee the offense playing out in this game? I can't wait to check it out. College game day environment. It's 1-0 Oklahoma versus 1-0 Michigan. It's the biggest test of the young freshman's career, and I'm excited for it. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I want to continue to make these videos, but last couple ones haven't really done so hot. So we're just going to keep pushing along, and I hope you guys are here to continue on this journey with me. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.